Good evening and welcome to the June 1st, 2026 meeting of the Tupelo Planning Committee. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. At this time, please rise for the invocation given by Lindsay Lee and the Pledge of Allegiance by Patty Thompson.
Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, please be with us, guide our actions that they might be pleasing to you and beneficial to our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
To face the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. The Tupelo Planning Committee is a volunteer group appointed by the mayor and the city council. We do not receive compensation, and we do it as a community service. The committee spends a lot of time in our own funds studying, researching the applications, and visiting the sites that are on our agenda each month. We ask that you remember that we do not take our positions lightly on any application. Our decisions are based on facts as they are presented and with regard to the regulations set forth by the city code. The planning committee may impose conditions on approvals of a request as it deems necessary to mitigate potential hazards or problems or bring the nonconformity into compliance to the extent necessary to protect the rights and interests of nearby property owners and the general public. At this time, I'd like the staff and the committee members to introduce themselves.
Tanner Newman, Director of Development Services. We also have Mark Williams, who represents Ward 6 on the phone.
I am Aaron Washington.
Pam Hadley.
Leslie Mart.
Lindsay Leak.
Patty Thompson.
Scott Davis.
Kim Rushing, Community Development and Outreach Coordinator.
Thank you. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of the last meeting? Are there any additions or corrections?
I move that we approve.
I second.
So that is Scott Davis and Pam. Those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. Motion carries. Mr. Newman, do you have any report on the city council's actions from our last meeting?
Madam Chair, there were no appeals from the last meeting, and the City Council will hold a public hearing tomorrow night regarding the rezoning of the property around the new target development.
That's tomorrow evening?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We now will review our agenda. So there are 2 items of new business and 1 old business for our text amendment. As we work through these items, if you are here in order to comment on an application, please, when you are asked, you're going to please move to the podium. There is a sign-in sheet up there. Please sign your name and your address. Speak clearly into the microphone. State your name and address before commenting. Please do not speak from the audience. You will need to come to the podium. This way we can record it. Okay, our first item on our agenda is the major subdivision 26-03 for parcel 101A-02-211-00. This is the west side of South Thomas Street, south of Yates Acres subdivision. Request for a major subdivision in the Spring Lake subdivision consisting of 8 lots. Mr. Newman, have the surrounding property owners been notified? And if yes, were there any responses?
Yes, Madam Chair, there were approximately 130 notifications sent out to surrounding property owners, and we have received several phone inquiries regarding the application.
Wonderful, thank you. Would the representative for this application please come to the podium and state your name, address, and present your request to the committee?
Can you just kind of give us an overview of what you're proposing as far as your development? Any thoughts you'd like to share with the committee and the public here tonight?
And before you start that, if you would please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Vinod Kumar, 880 Eats Creek Road, Belden, Mississippi. I'm sorry, my English not good. If something no understand, can ask me again. So I apologize. So I buy this land, Thomas Street, ma'am. I try to develop new community, like 8 lot, like city can require bigger lot. So 2 lot I keep like 1 acre each. 1 lot I build my house there. Then rest I sell. If not sell in future, maybe I build and then I sell. Yes, ma'am, that's all.
Okay. You could not hear him, ma'am?
Raise
Can we increase the volume so that the audience can hear what's being said? Wonderful.
I'm sorry. Okay, my name is Vinod Kumar, 880 Eats Creek Road, Belden, Mississippi. I buy land there, Thomas Street, 6.5 acre. So I try to develop new community there, like city require a little bit bigger lot. I have there total 8 lot, 2 lot in 1 acre each, 2. Rest almost around a half acre. Rest total, 6.5 acre. Then 1 house I build there, my own house. Then rest I try to sell. If not sell in future, I build house, then I can sell. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the committee have any questions for the speaker? For the applicant, rather. Nobody has any questions? Okay. Thank you. You may be seated. You are seated. Just going through my script, excuse me. We will now open the public portion of the hearing for this application. Please try to hold your comments to a minimum of 5 minutes. If there is anyone here to speak for or against, and when you come to the podium, please state your name and address when you come. Do we have anybody here to speak for or against? Please come up to the podium. Don't forget to please sign in.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm short, sorry.
that's okay.
My name is Lee Murphy. I live at 2808 Columbine Place in the Spring Lake subdivision. I'm also a board member for the HOA. And I just had 3 comments that we have received from different individuals in the Spring Lake subdivision that live there. If I can just walk through these real quick. We would like for the committee, if it is, you decide to do this, we're making a recommendation to include in the minutes that if Mr. Kumar does not join the Spring Lake Homeowners Association or abide by the Spring Lake covenants, that he would be prevented from using the name of Spring Lake in his proposed new subdivision. Using the Spring Lake name, we feel would in some ways potentially be deceitful or misleading to potential homebuyers that would be coming in to that new subdivision that is not really a part of Spring Lake, unless again he decides to join the Spring Lake HOA and abide by our covenants. The second item on the list that the homeowners ask is if Mr. Kumar does decide to join the Spring Lake HOA and abide by our covenants, he is proposing a new gate off Thomas Street Road, and we would like for all of the homeowners in the Spring Lake subdivision to have access to the code to get in through that gate. That is just another item that they were hoping y'all might put into the minutes as a recommendation. Third, if the committee would make a recommendation and include in the minutes that if Mr. Kumar does join again the Spring Lake HOA, decides to abide by our Spring Lake covenants, that the common areas, the green spaces that he's going to develop, they will have the look and feel of the Spring Lake subdivision. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate your consideration of putting these recommendations or requirements in your minutes.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here to speak for or against? Yes, ma'am, please come up.
Hi, I'm Sherry Webb, and I live at 1448 Columbine Drive. I'm also one of the board members. I just wanted to reiterate what Lee had said. There is concern about using the Spring Lake name if they're not a part of Spring Lake. But I also want to say that we are more than welcome to have them come into our community and be a part of our subdivision. I think that it will improve and enhance their property values. It would give them the opportunities to access our pool, our lake, our tennis courts, all the amenities that Spring Lake offers. They will also get the protection under covenants. And as she asked about a code for the gate, we also have a gate that we would share the code with as well, so that everybody had equal access. But we would really love for them to be a part of our community and a part of our neighborhood. And I just wanted to put that out there and let them know that they would be welcome. Thank you.
Do you have anybody else? Okay. Should we bring?
Leslie, I'm sorry, Ms. Mark.
Hi, yes, Mr. Cantak.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for serving on this committee. This is a very impressive committee, and we appreciate being able to be before you. I would just like to ask the folks in
Name
the
and
audience
address.
tonight.
Keith, before you
Oh, I'm sorry.
continue.
My name is Keith Cantak. I'm sorry. My name is Keith Cantak. It's Keith, and then Cantak is Kantack. And I live at 1810 Sunflower Circle, and that's in Spring Lake, and we've lived there for about 10 years, and we really enjoy it. I would just like to ask the question of the folks in the audience, how many folks here tonight are here because of this development?
Let the record state that it's about 75% of the people. Was that about 25?
And Ms. Mart, I promise you I'm not disagreeing with you, but I would almost say that it's in excess of 75%. I would almost say that Mr. Kumar and his relatives here too are in interest here of this development. So I think what we've heard from Mr. Kumar so far is nothing. What we've heard is a man come up here and basically say nothing. What he said was, please excuse my English, provided no details except that he may build some houses, or he may have some houses built, and he may or may not apparently build his own home there. And so there really is very little to work with from Mr. Kumar's statements tonight. And this is very disconcerting to this resident, and I'm sure it is, you know, to the others in the room. But I agree that we want to work with Mr. Kumar. And I also would say this, that he has stated, he has brought the issue himself that there's a language barrier, okay? So he's brought that issue that there's an English language barrier, which I understand and respect. But I would say to the committee to please, because there is that barrier, to the extent possible, let's make sure that we slow things down and have understanding, you know, that going on and all of that. Also, it's unclear to me sort of who's representing Mr. Kumar. He's had a realtor that's spoken to our neighborhood association, and tonight he has a surveyor with him. And those are all good people, but for example, apparently the realtor has told our president, Marty Herman, Dr. Marty Herman, that Mr. Kumar has agreed to adopt our covenants, for example. But when I asked Mr. Kumar that tonight, he said, well, he's open to discussing that. So again, we have sort of these issues out there. I want to say too that I'm here speaking for myself, but more than anything else, I'm also speaking for Dr. Marty Herman. Dr. Marty Herman is the president of the Spring Lake Association of Homeowners, and he's just not able to be here tonight. I know I have very limited time to speak, so I'll go through these issues, and I think that probably you all are hopefully aware of these and thinking about those. I know the folks in the audience are doing this, because this is a big deal. This idea of using the Spring Lake name sort of for free. Spring Lake really probably, I don't know if it's the preeminent sort of example of a planned community in Tupelo or not, but it's pretty darn close, you know, to being our best example, you know, of a planned community and all that. And I think to be able to use that name Spring Lake, I don't think should just be given away. I won't go into great detail about that. We're very concerned about architectural standards. We're very concerned about building process standards. We're very concerned about ongoing restrictive covenants. And, you know, if Mr. Kumar would be open to adopting our restrictive covenants, which we all live by, as a matter of fact, we were in the process of revising them and updating and all that, and that process is going well, I think that would work very well. I think his folks too, if he wanted to have his development be able to join our association and take place with our common ground and take place with our amenities and all that. Other than that though, these folks are going to have sort of free reign to come around and come into the neighborhood, and it's going to be hard to sort of understand who's who, you know, in these types of issues and things like that. Now, with regard to this Thomas Street access situation, that's really kind of a dangerous area there. What I mean by that, it's a very busy road, has a big four-way stop. There's a downhill there. There's folks moving there hard. And so this issue of access to Thomas Street, I don't know is necessary really. For example, that end could be turned into a cul-de-sac and folks could enter into Spring Lake. And what's going to happen now is people are going to think they can enter Spring Lake by entering into this gated situation. And they're not going to know where they are. They're going to have to back up probably onto Thomas Street and somehow find a way out of there. So I think that gate right there at that junction right there, in that particular junction, because of the speed, and because of the slope of the downhill and all that,
Keith, you've got 30 seconds.
is dangerous. So there's also the issue that about 30 years ago, Spring Lake was a planned unit development. And there's apparently a deed restriction that there's going to be covenants in play here. And so I think what we're saying, and we're not exactly sure what this committee is going to do tonight, but I think what we've heard is nothing from the developer. And I think there needs to be given time to be able to have an understanding of what's actually going to happen, and that just hasn't occurred. So we would ask the committee actually to not vote on this tonight and have folks talk, because there are big issues here.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank y'all.
Is there anybody else for or against? Mr. Kumar, would you like, wait a minute, hold on just a minute.
I answer everybody all together.
Is that Janet?
My name is Janet Gaston, and I live at 1764 Columbine, that is in Spring Lake. I'm not used to being on this side of the podium. Most of the things that have been said, I totally agree with. One of the things that I think has come up, and I've gotten several phone calls about this, asking lots of questions that I don't really have the answers to, and I can't say that I have the answers to them right now either. But I want to know, is this development going to be compatible with the precedent that has already been set in Spring Lake? It needs to be something that you know, is almost seamless. If the roads are going to connect, everything needs to be seamless. We don't need to feel like you're going, even if you aren't part of the HOA, it doesn't need to feel like you're going from one neighborhood to a totally different neighborhood. So that's one of the big concerns that I've heard. The other thing is, Keith sort of touched on it. According to the original developer, Spring Lake, back in the 90s, the city approved Spring Lake as a master plan community or a planned unit development. And I don't know that we have dug deep enough to find out if that still applies. If that still applies, then it's my understanding that the covenants in place would extend to this development. So that is something that I want to be looked into for sure. And the name, I think that would be very confusing, especially like Keith said, if you're driving down the road and you see a sign that has anything to do with Spring Lake on it, you'd automatically assume that you could get to Spring Lake through that entrance. And that, to me, is a hazard, especially as busy as Thomas Street is. And we all know that there's a suicide lane right down the middle of it. So people tend to pass when they're not supposed to, and that could be really a serious situation. So I would like to have the master plan community covenants researched or verified, whether they apply or they don't. That would answer a lot of questions. And I too would welcome this community as part of Spring Lake if they want to join the HOA and have access to all the amenities that we already have. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Do we have anybody else? Mr. Kumar, would you like to please come up to the podium and address some of the concerns?
I need to tell my name again. Name Vinod Kumar, 888 Creek Road, Belden, Mississippi. First thing I answer this gentleman because he attacked me personally. He said, no, speak good English, this, that. Okay. I follow law, the city. If I speak good English or no matter, I have lawyer, I pay lawyer, I have architect, everything. I do everything paper complete in city. So no attack me personally. I don't speak in English. I pay tax, property tax, everything. I donation, I do everything for community. I have business in Moreville, ma'am, gas station in Moreville. They can build in a fire station. One day, last month they come me, new fire station can they build there. One day they come me, ask me, we need donation. I told Mr. Terry there, I give you all brick in donation and free. Can you do this, mister? You talk about me? You know, speak in good English. I donation all, I told fire department, I give you all brick free. I do lot of stuff for the community. So please, no attack in personal. You talk about property, that's fine. Now, I know what Spring Lake part, no. And I take name now, I know what name Spring Lake. I fill application again, I know what Spring Lake, they keep the name. And I know what part of, like he can talk now. I know what part of Spring Lake. I want separate community, I follow city law, whatever city tell me, I give you all paperwork, everything. And Mr. They have there in 20 2100 square foot in house in Spring Lake.
Pick up the microphone again, please.
I'm sorry.
That's okay,
Am
it's
I
okay.
nervous this man?
It's all, no, it's all good.
2100 square foot in house, but my community no have any house in 2100 square foot. I saw you, ma'am. One more thing. 1 second.
You're all good, it's all good.
No, I saw you. And they have gate in my land. Gate, the Spring Lake in my property. But I not told nothing. When he talking about the Mr. Martin come talk with me 2 months ago, I say I love go with you with Spring Lake. I told Mr. Martin, he not here today. I say okay, we talk one day. We can sit down. Nobody call me. They everybody come here. Before that, nobody talk me. Nobody call me. You can ask me this in before outside. Maybe I agree. No, nobody talk with me. I told Mr. Martin, we can sit down. We talk. Maybe I can go Spring Lake with all together, join. But nobody call me. Why? Because I'm brown?
No, let's.
I'm sorry, man. Okay. I'll show you one more thing. Nobody have a house like this. I built this house in there. More value you can make in your property.
Sir, yeah, please,
Yes, ma'am.
please address us.
This house, I built my own. This in front, this inside in my house.
Beautiful.
You can see, sir, everybody. I just wait, city approve, I start this planning. I'm sorry. This in front, sir, this inside. Maybe you can show in a community. I make 100 more better than Spring Lake in my old 8 house. And I follow city law. City tell me, Kumar, you need build 10,000 square foot. I build 10,000 square foot. The city tell me 1,000, I build 1,000. No kids just see in color and commerce, no speak in English. And before that, they talk with me. I already agree. Go with Spring Lake, but nobody call me. Ask Mr. Martin. I told him, one day, sir, we sit down, we can talk. But nobody call me.
Okay.
And this gate, I don't have objection there on my property in gate. I don't have objection if they stay nice. If they're not nice, my property, I take out my gate. I'm sorry, ma'am. And one thing he told about gate the Thomas Street. They have gate there too, Spring Lake in Thomas Street. If city tell now I have 15 foot. That's Thomas Street in 15 foot. City tell me 30 foot, I go back 30 foot. So what is then?
Understand.
City tell me 30 foot, I follow city. No, the Mr. whatever he say. He has gate too. Thomas Street. Spring Lake gate in Thomas Street.
Okay, all right.
City
So-
tell me 50 foot, I follow 50 foot.
Can
We
we ask him
gotcha.
some questions?
Yeah,
sorry.
but you stay because we as a
Okay.
committee have some questions.
Okay, ma'am.
So you're
Sorry.
good,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. Take a breath. We got you, we got
He
you.
attacked me in no speak in English. I pay tax, I give a donation, Red Cross, everything for community.
Right, you're fine.
I've listened to that now 10 times,
I,
Oh,
so I'm gonna have.
I,
Then time before you attack in person
no,
somebody.
no,
Mr.
let's
I'm
not
sorry,
go
ma'am.
there. Let's just take a
Yes, ma'am.
moment. And if you'll just stay for just a moment, I'm certain that we have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do we?
We're still in the public forum.
Are we still in the public? So we need to close out the public forum and then we can have him here to answer some questions.
Yes.
All right, so give me a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Mark, I
Yes.
would ask to be recognized by the committee.
If he's recognized.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. I would ask to be recognized by the committee. This man has the mistaken projection that I'm somehow attacking him personally. And I actually, as you all probably know, was not trying to do that. I'm just trying to make sure that this process is done in a reasonable and understandable way. Now, this man has answered questions from the committee. He's made statements, to you all. And, I'm here on behalf of Spring Lake neighborhood. This is the neighborhood that has over 260 houses in it and has been around for 40 or 50 years. And so I would ask for the opportunity to be able to respond to what Mr. Kumar says, because I believe that what Mr. Kumar has done is he stood up and he's been completely emotional about this. And I think unfortunately, he showed some attributes which are concerning, I'm sure, to you all. They're certainly concerning to us. But substantively, his statements need to be responded to by this neighborhood because he's responding to what this neighborhood is saying. These two ladies are board members here in Spring Lake. Dr. Marty Herman would be here tonight, but he's just not able to be here. He asked me to speak for him. So I would respectfully allow maybe 2 or 3 minutes for me just to very gently and respectfully rebut Mr. Kumar. I have respect for Mr. Kumar. I have respect for Mr. Kumar, and I think the people that know me in this room understand that I have respect for Mr. Kumar. But this is really not about Mr. Kumar. This is about the continuity of these two parcels of land, which is just not being addressed here tonight.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kantak. We appreciate that. And right now, the committee has not had an opportunity to ask its questions. So what we're doing right now is asking for or against, which you came up and you did that. If there is anybody else for or against, you'll come up, you'll do that too. We will then close out the public portion of this so that the committee can then in turn ask questions of the applicant. So let's.
Madam Chairman, just a note, you've also not heard the staff analysis or any comments from city staff.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. So let us go through our process, and we have heard you, and your comments are on the records as well.
What about my request to rebut?
This is not that kind of situation to where we do rebuttals. Am I correct, Mr. Newman?
Yeah,
This is
each individual has 5 minutes to speak during the public hearing.
right.
Right, but he raised issues directly against me individually and against our thought process.
Let us go through.
The response, the committee has the option to suspend the rules, but that would take a majority vote of the committee to take that action if it so chose.
And all I am asking very respectfully, we've all come out here tonight, well over 75% of the folks here are here concerned about this. 2 or 3 people have spoken, and respectfully, all I'm asking for is 2 or 3 minutes just to be able to respond to what he said. And I want to be very compliant and respectful. And we actually want to work with you, Mr. Kumar. I know you don't believe that right now, but I promise you that we do. But I would ask that.
None of this is being recorded like it should be. So
It isn't?
he's not on mic.
Where's your, okay,
We are out of order here, and we still have all these people have a right to come up to this mic. So before you go twice, we need to get, if there's anybody else that wants to speak before we close the public portion.
okay.
So you just need to sit back down, sir, and let us continue with our process. And if we find a need to suspend the rules, we can, but right now, we need to continue moving forward with our meeting.
Thank you, Scott. All right. If you, Mr. Kantak, if you please be seated. Thank you. Mr. Kumar, if you would go ahead and have a seat, and we'll continue on with the open portion of the meeting. Thank you. If you would state your name and address, and please sign with both on that sheet.
Thank you. My name is Kathy Fitzpatrick. I live at 2706 Columbine Place in Spring Lake Development. My husband and I have lived there since 2017, and I just wanted to clarify and confirm. I think as homeowners and all of us out here, I think one of our biggest goals for being here is that we'd like to see the new development be part of Spring Lake and be under our covenants. And just to clarify, because I think it's important to know, the reason that there's so many of us here tonight is not to object, is just to ask you to be part of our covenants, part of our neighborhood, And the reason there's so many of us here tonight is it's our first opportunity to say anything. This is it. We haven't been open to be at any other meeting. So it's not that we're here all to bombard or to misrepresent who we are as a neighborhood. We're here because it's the first time we've had the opportunity to speak, and just to say, we just want you to be part of our covenants and part of our neighborhood. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else that would like to step up?
Good evening. My name is Emery Pittman. I live out on Pemberton, right behind where this property is. Everybody here seems to be welcoming and wanting these people to come in. We got to have one objection. We got to have one no, not at all. So I'm going to jump up here and take that position. For me as an outsider, I don't live in your neighborhood. I live behind your neighborhood. It seems that they are welcoming this man, but this man is saying that he wants to come in and he wants to do things his way, and he doesn't even care if he's part of them or not. I think that presents the problem to us on Pemberton. As long as they're running the situation and they have their rules and their bylaws and all that kind of stuff, then it's under their control. But if it's not under their control and it's not part of the other neighborhood and it's part of his own single neighborhood, then he's subject to doing anything he wants to do any way he wants to do it, and he'll say anything in order to get that, and then once it's built and done and set in place, then he's under like nobody's control. The city maybe, but you folks will cave in and cater to a foreigner who pulled a race card, and you shouldn't. Now he did that. I did not do that. These people did not do that. But when he said he didn't want to be part of it, that's a no for me. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do we have anybody new that would like to please step up or not? All right. This closes the public portion of this application for review. We are now going to open it up for committee discussion. Does the Department of Development Services have a perspective on this application?
Madam Chairman, Chairwoman, we do. Look, I just want to begin by stating that in situations like this, the facts are what matter. And I want the record to reflect, I'm going to address some of the concerns and questions that have come up here tonight to the best of my ability, but the facts do matter. And Mr. Kumar has submitted an application for a major subdivision for a 6.65 acre lot between Thomas Street and the existing Spring Lake subdivision. This property is zoned medium density residential. The minimum lot size in a medium density residential zone is 4,000 square feet. Some brief math will show you that theoretically, a development, he's requesting 8 lots. Theoretically, this property under the zoning guidelines could develop many more smaller lots. And at the city's request, Mr. Kumar agreed to request the flexible variance for the larger 8 lots with the intent of this proposed subdivision to be more compatible with the development pattern of the adjacent Spring Lake subdivision. So again, the facts are what matter here. And the facts are, tonight, the Planning Committee's role is to review the data, review the application, review all the supporting information, to hear from the residents, and the single decision the planning committee has is to make a recommendation to the city council, and that decision, that recommendation is simply whether or not the proposed development meets the Tupelo Development Code standards. And the development code standards here are met with, again, I stress, these flexible variants for the larger lots. That was a request the city made and the developer agreed to. There's been no issue to this point where the developer has not worked with the city to address these issues. The city does not, we do not have the authority or the ability to enforce covenants. I think that all these points raised tonight are legitimate, and they do need to be worked out. But the planning committee's recommendation to the city council is just that, it's a recommendation, and we have no authority to enforce the covenants. So the city's position, the staff's position on this is that it does indeed meet the guidelines of the development code, and this again is a recommendation to the council, and we do still have time in the development agreement to work out the details. I will say, as far as the gate that's been discussed tonight, the proposed gate, that would be a public street. Therefore, the residents of Spring Lake would certainly have to have access, would have to have access code to that gate. That would be part of the development agreement. Mr. Kumar has already shared that he would share that code. We have fire safety codes and fire guidelines that must be abided by in developments like this, and that fire access is certainly part of that. And that, in order to have the gate, the community would have to have access to the code and vice versa. So again, tonight, the decision of the planning committee is to make the determination whether or not the proposed development meets the standards of the development code, and to make that determination and recommendation to the city council.
I have a couple of questions for you. Is in the approval or disapproval of this plat, does the name have any meaning to us? What he calls this?
No, as far as that goes, the planning committee certainly has the ability, to approve or deny, or recommend approval or denial with contingencies. And it sounds like that's another aspect of this application, regardless of its name. We have to look at the merits, and if he wants to change the name, then that's his prerogative, and if he doesn't, then.
Well, so we're going to approve or disapprove of this regardless of what the name is, and the name cannot have an effect on whether this is approved or disapproved.
Correct. By the statute, it has no bearing on the decision.
As well as the covenants?
Correct. The covenants have no bearing on.
But we have no say. The
Have no say.
covenants are private.
Now,
And-
are those matters that need to be addressed? Absolutely. But the planning committee or the city council have that authority.
Also, if you discussed the lot sizes and how you could certainly have had smaller lots. If we approve this plat with these 8, is he locked into these 8 as the size they are and cannot go back and change that size?
Once the planning committee makes a decision tonight and the city council takes action on that, those lot sizes are locked in at that size and the specific design that they are currently represented. The only way to change that would be to come back to planning committee and city council for further approval.
Also, you mentioned the gate. That is, my understanding, requested by the fire department to have that access onto Thomas Street, so that there is no issue with having that entrance there from the fire department or from the city engineer or anything related to traffic. There is no concern there.
That's correct. That specific matter, as far as the details, would be worked out in the engineered plans for the street and infrastructure design. I know there's been some discussion about the possible need for a right turn lane off of Thomas Street to accommodate that new access, but those are technical issues that are worked out through the development process.
So, they could go back and eliminate any connection to Spring Lake if they wanted to. Am I correct?
I mean, to do that, if the committee took action tonight, in order to change it, it would have, it would have to come back, any changes would have to come back to the committee for their review.
Well, what did you say?
I asked whether or not they could do this development without actually being connected to Spring
Well, that
Lake.
would be totally different. You'd have to be able to turn around fire trucks, and you couldn't have a gate blocking them. I mean, that would change. I mean, at that point, you're at a totally different application, so.
Hey, Mark, can you hear us? Mark,
Tanner, I can hear you.
all right, you're on speaker if you'd like to speak.
Well, and Tanner, again, I appreciate, being a part of this by phone and certainly have heard the comments. And one, I appreciate Mr. Kumar wanting to contribute to our city and being one of those as a developer and improve the city accommodations and providing living and housing for the city of Tupelo, and certainly in the Ward 6 area. And I certainly can appreciate, because I too reside in Spring Lake, so I can appreciate the comments that I've heard from the Spring Lake homeowners. And so, Tanner, also know as a voting member, even though I will recuse myself on these two items tonight, since I do reside in Spring Lake, I do know our committee has to abide by city code. But when we've had issues like this where code says, yes, everything is met, but the public says, but there's concern, oftentimes our committee asks for a period of time to allow the developer and or owners to work out any differences that could resolve for the betterment of the entire community. So I would ask that to be considered tonight if it stands the way it is, that perhaps this is tabled to allow time for Mr. Kumar and Marty and the HOA to work together with an agreement that is satisfactory to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I think that's an excellent suggestion.
I think it's a really great idea. I think that there's a lot of questions. A couple of those which are, what has this land already been agreed to? Is it already a part of that development? And if so, what restrictions does that land already have? And these just seem like this is a couple of questions. And
Leslie, let me comment on that real quick. Sure. So according to our development code, any preliminary plat or subdivision application that is approved has a validity of 4 years. And I think most of us here have served on this committee for about that amount of time, if not longer, and we've not had any plat approved regarding this property. Now, I certainly do think that the covenants that we've discussed need to be reviewed further by the appropriate individuals, but again, I did want to make that clear, that the plat, there is no active plat approved for that property.
so we do know for certain that when Spring Lake was developed and that came in for approval, however many 50 years ago, was this part of that plat?
We have Mr. Faulkner here. I think he would be the appropriate person to speak to verify that.
I didn't think he was old enough for that, but
Pat Faulkner, working as a consultant for the city, 176 Shady Acres Road here in Tupelo. The question about the original development guidelines for Spring Lake actually go back further than I do. They had a master plan. It was done under a earlier development code that was even before the one that I learned when I came in. And the understanding was that they would detail out the areas of their property as they developed them. So there was no advanced platting out of the whole property at all. They would just do steps at a time, phases. It gave them a great deal of flexibility, and there are different areas of Spring Lake that are differently sized lots and laid out, and because they use that flexibility to meet the market needs. But overall, they kept the look of the development fairly uniform. Having said that, there's nothing in those original master plan that shows what this area would be laid out as. I think their intent all along was that it would continue to look like what they built already. So it was conceptual but not detailed out in the form of a plat that we could show you.
Were there boundaries to the original master plan?
Well, the Hancock family owned the whole tract, basically from the Yates Acres development south to Cliff Gookin. But it was intended that this whole area would eventually be developed and as residential.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Faulkner. Appreciate that very much. So, do we want to bring Mr. Kumar back up? Mr. Kumar, could you please join us back up here at the podium? And I hope I said the name correctly. Great. Thank you for coming back up. We know who you are now. We do. So, do we have some questions of Mr. Kumar? Or should the first question be, are you open to us tabling this request so that there can be further discussion, maybe with you and Spring Lake, to see what kind of agreement that you guys can work out? It's a great marketing because you've already got that, they're already established, so there are a lot of things
Can I
maybe
answer
that you
one
can
by
do.
one? So first question, that one. Like two women and that woman ask nicely. I love that. Like I say, Mr. Martin talked with me 2 months ago. I told Mr. Martin, when you have time, call me, we can sit down, we can talk part of. But it make me upset, this man attack on me, my language, cannot speak in English.
Okay.
That make me nervous.
Okay,
Then
let's,
nice talk, she nice talk. She
Right.
asked me, request me, and I already told Mr. Martin, I love Ghost joint with Spring Lake, I don't have any issue. But I told when you have time, because maybe he busy, I'm always free. He was a businessman, always free. I said, call me, we can sit down. Nobody call me, ma'am.
okay.
Now everybody come here. They talk nice, thank you so much, ma'am, thank you. But
Okay, we've heard that, we understand, totally understand. So what I do hear him saying is that he is absolutely open to having a meeting, and my suggestion would be with Spring Lakes Homeowners Association should have a neighborhood-wide meeting.
but nicely, like I said,
Oh,
ma'am.
yeah, everybody being nice
But
and
I can
respectful.
nicely, I can think about, I know promise now. They can, I know promise, like Mr. Martin, he can ask him how nicely he talk with me, I talk with him. Okay, Mr. Martin, when I have time, we can talk, no problem. But
Understood.
like this, can talk, no ma'am, I
Okay.
cancel now, I know what part of any
Okay.
Spring Lake.
But let's not make any rash decisions, except maybe the
Thank you,
decision to be made here is, can we table it? Are you open to us tabling that so that further discussions can be had? And then once some of those details are worked out, then be able to bring this back up, hopefully next month. Bring this back
I
up.
want to build my house, I'm already late.
I know,
I'm already late.
I know. But those decisions that you come
But
up with
this is
may determine what.
Like I say, ma'am, I follow city law. City tell me whatever, I completely make done.
Mm-hmm.
That decision we can do later on. When city follow my paperwork, what city ask me, I love give all. If city need more, I give you. But that kind of discussion we can do after 1 month, 2 months, that's not obligate with my project. That I don't think so, this something obligate. First I need be yes or no, then I need be no. I can follow city everything, paperwork, whatever city need. But these people, like I say, we can sit down when they want, maybe yes or maybe no. Maybe they don't like me, they're in part of Spring Lake. Maybe I don't like part of Spring Lake. This is a separate story, ma'am.
Right. If you don't choose to be you all help me out here.
Yeah.
If you choose not to be a part of Spring
Yes,
Lake,
ma'am.
I think that changes the layout of what you've done here.
You'll have to start over.
You'll have to start over.
Layout means map.
Yes, the platting of how this is and how all the lots are. So if you choose not to be a part of Spring Lake, I think that changes the access and how these lots will be laid out.
No, excuse me, ma'am. Why I need, if I no agree with them, can I come there?
Sure.
Why I need to be changed my plan?
Okay,
This, I'm sorry, ma'am.
this way you can talk into the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, ma'am. Okay, like if I know part of here.
Right.
So is city, whatever city code.
Okay, so I think, and
Yes, ma'am.
Tanner helped me out here, that if he chose not to be a part of Spring Lake, then this part here would not be
Why,
built.
ma'am, this in my property.
You have, Mr. Mark, let me answer your question real quick, directly. So you have two separate things going there. So if you have two separate questions, you have not being a part of the Spring Lake neighborhood subdivision, that's one thing. Not being a part of the homeowner association is a separate thing.
I meant the Spring Lake, not, we can't talk about the homeowners
Correct.
association.
The road, if he wants to tie onto the road, he can tie.
It's a
this is
public
the-
road,
It's the
that's correct.
same thing as Pecan Grove a few months
Yes.
ago. The same concept. This is not unusual. We've had this before. He has a right to tie onto the road. Any of the roads that end that have not been added onto, anyone can buy that property and extend the road. That is certainly within his right. That is factual. We can, accept that. He does, not have to
Be part of that.
be a part of the association.
Correct.
So that's why, and also he can have smaller homes. He's wanting larger homes. He's wanting to have another entrance. It's I understand your frustration with your neighborhood's getting added onto, and you feel like you don't have control. And I would say this is not the first time. And unless the association buys up all the extra property, it's not going to be the last time. That's really the only way to control it. It had been controlled until the land was sold off. And now it's not controlled by the same ones who developed it. And the only way to control it is to plat it out and lock the neighborhood in. And we had this same issue a few months ago where an existing neighborhood for 30 years, there was one lot that wasn't platted, and a new road came in and added on to the neighborhood. So he is within his right to add on to, he owns the property, he can extend the road. The city has no problem with it coming on to Thomas Street. He's making the lots larger than what they have to be. If my understanding is every issue that the city needs to be checked off, he has done. Am I correct?
That's correct. Up to this point, look, this is a process. You don't just decide, hey, I'm going to build a house or houses or a neighborhood, and it happens overnight. This is a 6 to 12 month long process that this particular individual is working through. Again, I go back to the facts are what matter, and he is following the process. He has up to this point, and that's why we're here tonight.
So there's nothing from us as a city that he has not done that stop us from
There's
voting
no reason to not
on his
approve it.
project tonight.
Correct.
Other
than him being part of.
From what we can oversee and regulate here tonight, there is nothing that's going to change or can change about that between now and another meeting. The concern that I hear is regarding the neighborhood covenants, and that is not within the boundaries of what the planning committee or city council can regulate.
So the Spring Lake is under discretion of whether he wants to be part of them or not.
Correct. That is between the developer and the homeowner association.
Wow.
This is, like I said, this is not the first time. I understand where the people are coming from, just like before. But it says, and Tanner, correct me if I'm wrong, that the preliminary plat shall be approved if it meets the following criteria, and that means this is a use by right,
Correct.
that we must approve it.
That's
If it
correct.
meets the-
And most of the time, when we do have situations or matters where we table an item like this, you know, there are code questions that we have to work through. That's not the case here. Pecan Grove, for instance, because it was brought up, we had a question regarding the fire code. This individual was proactive, met with the fire department, addressed all those issues before it ever came to planning committee.
But once that fire code
I
issue,
think a city council member has brought up the issue of whether or not there are older codes that
Keith, Mr. Cantak.
okay, you do not have the floor. You are speaking out of order. You do not have the floor. It is past the public portion. But with the Pecan Grove, once that fire issue, safety issue was addressed, there was no reason to not approve it.
Correct.
Legally.
Correct.
We must follow the code. We have no control over covenants.
That's correct.
It does not matter at all what the covenants are or not.
God, man, this is deeper
And
than
so,
covenants.
the other thing that they've noted on here is that the recommendation for the city recommended that they go to the larger lot so that it was more in line with, more compatible, and he has met those requirements.
Correct.
So that was the only hiccup potentially on the major subdivision application, am I correct?
That's correct.
So as the volunteer committee, the planning committee, this is all we can do tonight. This will go to the city council where each of you could be heard again if you wish. And they will be the ones to make the final decision. Am I correct, Tanner?
That's correct.
I would ask that the committee consider,
He
as
can't
I
speak.
asked before.
Keith,
Out
I'm
of
sorry, you
order.
can't, you're out of order. I'm sorry.
So
This
should
is
we
a
can't
Alright.
vote?
conversation between the public and this committee that can be stalled if this man would respectfully.
So
respect him,
where do we go
just agree to table
next
this
with
item.
this? So what's the next step?
If there's no other comments for the department or the applicant, it's for our discussion. But I mean, we have seen this numerous times where we are bound to approve and personal feelings and come into it, but you have to say, does this meet the code? And it meets the code.
And if we don't, it puts us in jeopardy of misusing our situation, which could create legal actions.
And so they've met all of the requirements for the major subdivision, for the fire department, for access with that. They've met all the city requirements. All right,
So at this,
let's see, where are we? So this, we've already closed the public portion. We've already heard the development services, position on that. Is the committee ready to make a motion on this application?
This is just for
Just
I'm
for the
sorry.
major
the major
subdivision,
subdivision part,
for the 8 lots as is shown on,
to approve the plat,
to
correct.
approve the plat.
Preliminary plat.
the preliminary plat.
so I'll make the motion that we approve the plat as presented. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All out? And we have one who has recused himself. Mark has recused himself. Okay. Motion was made by Patty, seconded by Pam. All in favor? We did. It passed. Mr. Newman, would you please advise the applicant and interested parties about their options?
So again, this was a recommendation to the city council, and so we anticipate action at that on this item in July. A second public notice will go out, so you will be notified of the date of that hearing as well, if you received one for this meeting.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here, and
Still have the
Here.
flex.
We got the flex.
We gotta do the
oh,
flex.
we have the flex. Yep, we do have the flex. This was just for the major subdivision. This is what I don't want. All right, so we're moving on to our next item of business, which is flex variance 26-04 for parcel number 101.
In a meeting.
Give it a minute. Yeah, Mr. Kumar, we're not done. Your next part. No, you're fine. You s-
Can I give my number?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, you are just fine.
Can you call me? I'm out there. You call me anytime. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Dr. Herman is attending his granddaughter's graduation, and we do have an open board meeting coming up June the 9th, so I'm gonna hope that me and Marty and Lee can meet with him before that board meeting. Just so y'all know.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so now this is for that same property, flex variance 26-04 for parcel number 101A-02-211-000. And this is for the west side of South Thomas Street. Request by flexible variance to allow for larger lot sizes rather than the required minimum lot size of 4,000 square feet. And south foot, what? SO frontage?
50-foot frontage.
Oh, 50
The
foot,
minimum
so
50.
sorry. 50-foot frontage requirement. Mr. Newman, have the surrounding property owners been notified?
Yes, Madam Chair, that they have.
And the responses?
With that, we've received a few on that, just general inquiries about what the variance was for.
Okay, thank you. Would the representative for this application please come to the podium, state your name, address, and present your request to the committee?
Yes, ma'am. My name Vinod Kumar, 880 Eats Creek Road, Belden, Mississippi, 38857. No, 38826, I'm sorry. I told my gas station zip code. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please state the reason for the application.
I'm going to interject here. This request that Mr. Kumar made was specifically at the request of the Department of Development Services staff, and so it would probably be more appropriate just to acknowledge what we've already acknowledged, that this request was made to ensure that the proposed development stays within the characteristics and compatibility of the existing neighborhood.
Okay. So committee,
Didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Kumar. Just wanted to clarify.
does the committee have any questions for the
Thank you.
applicant?
We've covered it.
We've covered it big time.
Okay,
And upon the recommendation of the planning department, I know it's too early, but I recommend we approve it.
all right. Is there anybody here to speak for or against making the lot bigger than the required size? Mr. Kumar, if you'll let Mr. And you'll have 5 minutes.
My name is Keith Cantak, and I've been a lawyer for some 30-plus years, and I don't understand the room that I'm in right now with regard to this issue. So I don't know, is there someone I can ask a question to with regard to this? Because I don't understand what we're doing.
What's the question?
My question is, what is this the vote to be able to have the developer choose to increase the lot size? Is that correct?
No, this is a flexible variance request. The minimum lot size in medium-density residential zones is 4,000 square feet. With 6.65 acres, theoretically, a developer could develop 72 lots in a 6.65 acre lot. Mr. Kumar has requested 8 lots, 8 larger lots, rather than 50 to 72 small lots that could be developed on that size plot.
Okay, so in this particular situation, Mr. Kumar is asking for larger lots, and if this is approved by this committee, does that create a situation where the larger lots then will be the rule, will be the law, will be the land?
For these 8 lots, for this piece of property, the 6.65 acres, it locks the developer into the 8 lots as proposed, and any changes to those 8 lots would have to come back to Planning Committee and City Council for approval.
Okay. Well, I'm Keith Kantak, and as a resident of Spring Lake, I don't have any issues with this as a resident of Spring Lake. And I know that, speaking for Dr. Marty Herman, who's not able to be here tonight, he will not have a problem with this also. So we would support the vote on this and respectfully want to communicate that to y'all. And to Mr. Kumar.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Anybody else for or against? Okay, this closes the public portion of this application review. We're now open for committee discussion. Mr. Tanner, I think you've already stated your position unless you'd like to do it again.
No, ma'am, I think the record reflects the position of the staff.
Okay, is there any further discussion or questions?
We've hashed this out, so I'll move that we approve the variance.
I second.
Okay, we'll do Scott and we'll give Lindsay a chance here. You've been very active. Any discussion regarding the motion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? And we have one abstaining, which would be Mark. Thank you. Mr. Newman, would you please advise Mr. Kumar what the next steps are?
Yeah, on this particular item, this would be a final decision as far as the flexible variance is concerned. Anyone who would like to appeal that matter has 3 days beginning tomorrow, 3 business days, to appeal, file an appeal with the Department of Development Services. Again, the major subdivision application will go before the City Council in July, and we will send out notifications prior to that meeting.
Okay. Mr. Kumar, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming through and following through with everything. Hopefully you guys will have a great meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay.
Madam
That's
Chair, could I request a 5-minute breather before we move on to the
Yes.
next few items?
Yes, please.
Can I get a motion?
Oh, I'll make
we
a
need-
motion, we take a breather.
And
We'll come back
second.
at 7:20.
Okay, 7:20.
Who seconded that?
Huh?
Aaron, who seconded that?
Yeah.
second.
Okay, I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
This is why I don't do this.
This was a great meeting to be chaired.
No, it
This was just great.
Yeah, if it
I
had
mean,
been Victor, he would have had it all, you know, he would have had them wrangled, everything would have been okay, and then I just,
to have him sitting there.
at least I didn't start giggling.
Oh, we'll be here till 9 o'clock at Victor.
You're right, you're so right. Oh, my Lord.
About to have a rumble there.
Ah,
I appreciate y'all letting me scoot on
yeah.
out tonight.
How is it that our police chief all of a sudden showed up?
Page.
Yes.
Wow.
I appreciate Tanner for actually saying, this is
pressure, off, because I understood how they feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's a shame that they hadn't communicated first, like Mr. Kumar, go to the neighborhood association meeting.
It was getting a little exciting there. You walked in, I'm like, oh, somebody must.
It's one thing to acknowledge yourself that you should have your species is not so good. But
When he said that, I was like,
exactly. I was like, okay, you know, it's okay for him to say it, but not for anybody else.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, when he
That's
said that, I
exactly
was
how we
like,
took it.
oh, he did just go there.
People don't like it.
And I understood why he got so upset over that.